Hello, I'm Hexed Toycat, and good news for people who like survival challenge maps because Ultra Hard Survival Hexed is officially available on the marketplace. If you just type in IBX Time Maps, you should be able to find it, and it's very exciting because this is a map I've spent most of 2021 working on alongside my team, IBX Time Maps, and I figured rather than just saying it's out, what if I actually played it a little bit? Let's load up the world and let's show you what this is all about, and maybe give you some insight that you might not get from a normal look at this, because again, I feel like this is an incredibly fun map to play on the YouTube. I don't want to spoil anything, I just want to give you some interesting looks about how this works, because this is a complete the monument map. The goal is to craft all 16 colors of concrete, because around the map there are 16 different dye types that you can combine to make things work together. And something I wanted to do with this map, obviously Adorable Ho has been helping me work on some of the nicer looking things you'll spot around here. However, something I wanted to make very clear with this map is that this is one that really gives you freedom. Scorched is the same thing, but rather than a map that leads you down a particular way, this is a map that gives you a couple of clear directions you can take. Should you head over there? Should you head over there? You know, you can do that if you want to. Do you want to go see what that bee's all about? Do you want to go to the house up there? You can do pretty much any of these things if you can survive and get there. Obviously, you spawn with nothing and you have to get that stuff yourself. So there is some wood right here at the spawn. You might miss it because it's a bridge, but you're going to need to chop that down right away. Very, very handy. And turn that into a crafting table. And then a fun little fact, by the way, is Bedrock doesn't let you combine the two things together, so you're also going to want to get yourself some more to make a stick maybe, or perhaps you can just go into the barrel and get your first dye. This is the only dye location I'm going to show you in this video because it's right at spawn. It's designed to teach you some things, and yeah, there's a few different strategies you can go through from spawn if you want to get out. You can use the wood from up there, and maybe that stone behind spawn. You can use, maybe there's some things found around here, maybe there's, you know, some chests and one of the music discs hidden around. Also a tropical fish, which is exciting. Yeah, it's up to you how you choose to play this one, which I think is important. This is a map that is about challenge, but it's also about choice. You get to decide how you deal with the challenges. Some of these challenges are much, much easier if you know what you're doing and how to deal with them. So if you want to grow some oak saplings, you can, but it's not forced on you, like maybe, do you see that close squid over there? It's not forced on you like with some other maps. So instead, what I'll be doing, for example, assuming I can get back up there actually, is I'm going to be breaking my way into this big tank you might see next to spawn. It seems like it's basically nothing, but let me assure you, this is the reason you play this map on Bedrock. This is the reason it's all worthwhile. It is a tank filled with some big salmons and some small salmons. Oh, is it just some medium to big salmons in here? You're not disappointing. The lack of salmon diversity is something I assure you will usually be fixed on your playthrough. Sorry to disappoint you. But yeah, that means that you can use the big salmon as a little bit of food. Also, then there is a little thing right here to just kind of let people know that's how you craft concrete. You probably shouldn't be playing a hardcore or ultra hard, I should say, because hardcore doesn't exist yet on Bedrock. You shouldn't be playing an ultra hard map if you don't know how to craft concrete, but if you want to, here is a reminder on how to craft it. And yeah, your game options from here are to head to the left, the right, the forwards, the backwards. Again, it is entirely your choice. If you know me though, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the speedrunning strategy whenever possible, and so I did also make it possible for you to do this. Should you really want to, it's one of your options, and then you can jump straight to the other side, because, you know, I find that placing the blocks is definitely the way you're meant to do this, and you're going to be a lot better off because you'll have some actual tools to work with. But if you really want to just dive head in, and if you are trying to do the speed run, and which is a fun thing, right? Like, try to get all the dyes as fast as you can, this is the way to do that. Obviously, your first playthrough is not going to be a good speed run. Just try to not die is my recommendation, because the map, it's not a coincidence that we spawned at nighttime. The map is set to permanent nighttime. Maybe there's a way to turn that off later. You know, maybe not, who knows for sure. And the other thing is that it has an abnormally high spawn rate for witches and for strays. So, two mobs you really, really don't want to be fighting. You know, you could say, it's possible to say, that maybe the witches hexed this map, and that's why it's that way. I don't know for sure though. But yeah, the map is littered with not only sources of poison, but all sorts of things that you can find, some of which are fun, some of which are just here for the sake of story. It's a very interesting world filled with different things. But one of the things I wanted to be very clear about is that the places you'll find the dyes should be immediately obvious. Again, I'm not going to point out which of those things around here they are, but maybe you can tell that maybe that tower towards the sky has something in it. Maybe, you know, that mansion over there has something going on with it too. And yeah, the other interesting points that we tried to work into the design language here. I'm gonna die. I have no food, and I've been poisoned down to half a heart. And you might notice I'm not naturally regenerating. Again, this is ultra hard, which means that although you can respawn when you die, we can't turn that off. And, you know, if you want to play on hardcore, that's your choice. But something that was very clear is, unlike Scorch, which just kind of remixes very lightly existing structures, this is some very heavy remixing of, say, a woodland mansion, and even has some features from an upcoming update, like take this. This is the brand new mountains from Caves and Cliffs, but hexified. Everything done right here has its own fun little twist going on that maybe you'll spot. But my favorite one that I don't want to spoil so bad I'm going to turn off my coordinates for this next bit is what happens if you search for the cause of this whole hexing. Because again, you might notice there's a theme to all of this. There's, you know, again, it's all kind of magic based, and that's why there's a lot of witches, which are the most terrifying mob to have on ultra hard. Because again, even when you have just a fist, it's easy enough to be vigilant enough with them that it's not a real problem. You just knock them over the edge. You've got to be, again, you got to be smart, but it's fine. But yeah, to tie into that theme, there's not only perhaps a witch tower or two, there's also this kind of fun recreation of the Farlands that you might notice. But again, in hex form. Again, this is in reality just to work as a border of the map. There isn't much to do over there. They're mostly just a visual reminder of the hex on location, because you don't really see the hexes so well on the ground. You can spot them when you look through here. They're like, yeah, that's a big thing that you might get knocked off, which again, maybe you should watch out for the arrow firing strays for that reason. But yeah, the big thing that was exciting that we're trying out for the first time with this map, and I want your feedback on it because it was done in a semi-sarcastic way, but I love it nonetheless. Anyway, so if you want to get your hands on the yellow dye, maybe you need to find the Sandwich, and maybe you'll enjoy the Sandwich's dialogue. Oh no. Oh no. Please stop hitting me. Please stop hitting me. Ouchie. Oh no. I mean, I don't expect you'll do well against her, but I mean, how can you not love those voice lines? Again, it's actually a mini boss fight. We've added a new boss to Minecraft, and maybe I offered to do the voice acting myself, and maybe everyone else said, "Are you sure that's a good idea, Toy Cat?" And I said, "Yeah, it's definitely a good idea." And so that's why we have it. But yeah, this is Ultra Hard Survival Hexed. I didn't want to spoil too much, that's why I didn't want to do a full playthrough here, but in the next few days I will be doing a live stream of some form, so you can actually watch along with me. And yeah, I totally recommend you check this out if you've been looking for a survival challenge map. I, as always, am making it very clear that the marketplace is the only way that I can access people who are on the console editions and likewise, and I wanted to make something that I wanted to see in a map, which is something that genuinely challenges you. It's not just hard mode survival. There's a lot of things that will get you bad if you don't watch out, and I personally love that. And as someone who, unlike you know, Scorched, which I mostly built myself, this is a map that was made with Adorable Hose input and indeed the IBX Toy Map team, and so it's been really cool to see the evolution of that idea and the evolution of these things. And so yeah, if you want to see what I think is the best map I've ever put out in my 11 years here on YouTube, check out Ultra Hard Survival Hexed on the Minecraft Marketplace. This is exactly what I would want as a person, and as a result, I wholeheartedly recommend it if you have similar tastes to me. But if you don't, just remember, you can always just die. Goodbye. Is that an okay ending? Ah, that's probably okay. If you know me, though, you'll know that I'm a much bigger fan of doing the dumb speedruns. Okay, well, that teaches you a valuable lesson. If you know me, though, you'll know I'm a much bigger fan of doing the dumb speedrunning strategy, which is why I've also made it... I'll get that right next time. If you know me, though, you'll know that I'm a big fan of this... Is it possible? Maybe I have to jump from up here.